My name is Alyssa, and today we will be looking at how to troubleshoot a problem with an electronic prescribing system. We will look at a problem that arose from different types of errors. We will examine the errors and the possible solutions to the problems that have arisen. The outline for today's presentation will be as follows. First, we will review the problem that is being presented. Next, we will then go over the troubleshooting steps that will help to figure out how to possibly come up with a solution to the issue. Afterward, we will then look at the possible solutions in reference to each error message. We will finally end with a list of references. Here is the problem that is being presented. The Superior Healthcare Group, SCHG, recently installed a new system for electronically sending patient prescriptions to pharmacies. This new electronic prescribing system was working well until recently. Now the system is displaying errors periodically. When this occurs, the prescribing doctor has to call the prescription into the pharmacy, which takes more time. The new office manager, Braden Thomas, is responsible for maintaining the system. Braden found an error log file in the system. These errors are perplexing and contain cryptic messages. After spending several hours changing various system configuration settings, the problem started getting worse. He finally realized that he doesn't know enough about troubleshooting the system to correct the problems. Even worse, he doesn't know whom to contact to solve the problem other than the sales associate who sold SCHG the system. When he called that number, he was sent to voicemail. Meanwhile, the group's doctors are expressing displeasure with his ability to manage the system. The troubleshooting process can be distilled into 4 steps. The first step is the system malfunctions and systems are identified. Step 2 is a set list of possible causes that is generated based on existing knowledge, research, or previous experience. Step 3. Additional data is collected and, based on a process of elimination, the causes of the problem are determined. Step 4. The solution is tested to confirm that the problem has been solved. Here we can see the 3 errors that Braden had found in the error log file in the system. The first error comes up as 07 in course script, error number 34 rect PVD format. The second error that was noted is pproc error number 3212, schedule 1 not allowed. The last error that was noted is pproc error number 3245, not in formulary. These errors will be looked at further in the upcoming slides, and possible solutions to the problems will be discussed as well. The first error that we are going to look at is the PVD format error. One possibility of the origins of this error could be that patient demographics are improperly formatted. This would mean that due to a formatting error, the e-prescribing system can't tell what kind of file this is, and therefore cannot function correctly. The evidence that suggests that this could be the case is that the PVD file actually provides pointers to the collection of data files required to store the various components of the current data set. This is also supported in regards to Health Level 7, HL7 data sets, since the data is composed of groups known as segments. If there is something wrong with one of the segments, then the system cannot utilize the data and make a correct action. There are 2 possible solutions to this problem. 1. By looking at the segments listed in the error message, there might be a possibility of identifying which segment of the data file is causing the error. By identifying where the error is coming from, the manager could go in manually, be able to change the segment so that it is correct. Another possible solution could be to utilize a different file type. If the system is having an issue with accessing the information stored on a PVD, the manager may have to configure the settings to find out what other file types the system will operate with. The second error that is showing is the Schedule 1 is not allowed error. This error states that a prescribed Schedule 1 drug is not allowed. This could be for many reasons. One of the possible reasons is that the Schedule 1 drugs are highly regulated. The regulatory body that oversees these drugs is the DEA. In order for a healthcare provider to prescribe Schedule 1 drugs, the provider must register and be cleared by the DEA. Once cleared, the provider is then given a special license or identification number that allows them to prescribe Schedule 1 drugs as treatment. Some of the possible solutions to this problem would be that the prescription might not be covered under a patient's insurance, since Schedule I drugs could be a liability in terms of covering a patient. If this is the case, the manager would have to contact the insurance company directly to get the matter resolved. Another possible solution would be that the prescriber of the facility was not cleared by the DEA to be able to prescribe Schedule I drugs. In order to rectify this situation, the prescriber would have to contact the DEA and either obtain or renew their licensure or contact the DEA directly. One of the easier solutions might be that in order to authorize a prescription for a Schedule I drug, the prescriber might have to prove their authorization is real by manually entering their DEA identification number into the e-prescription system. The last error that we will discuss is the not in formulary error. It is important to understand that a formulary is before trying to look at some possible solutions. According to the textbook, a formulary is known as a list of medications. This is important because most systems have a formulary checking process. This is a process in which an e-prescribing system helps ensure the medications prescribed are covered by the patient's insurance formularies. After reviewing this error, one of the possible solutions would be to have the manager contact the insurance company of the patient. Insurance companies have their own formularies that they allow prescription coverage for, but this particular prescription might not be listed on the formulary and cannot be covered. Another possible solution could be that the formulary in question is actually the healthcare facilities, and that the medication is not listed. This might require the medication to be manually entered into the facility's formulary. There are some additional means of trying to troubleshoot. There is the age-old advice of trying to reboot the system by shutting it down and then turning it back on again. While this might actually be one of the more extreme measures out of all the possible solutions, it might be worth a try. Sometimes the simplest fix is the one that works. Another solution would be to have Braden try and locate a customer service number. Most companies that develop and sell technology like the one being used will have call centers and numbers for instances like this, so that help can be reached. Most of those numbers are 24/7 numbers as well. They are also specifically for problems, so you might have a better luck with reaching someone. Another possible solution would be to scan the system, if possible, for bugs or viruses. Sometimes technology can develop bugs which can either be fixed easily or can be more complicated. Another thing to look for would be to see if there are any viruses or malware that might be affecting the system. This could be helped with making sure that all security settings in place are up to date, and that if there is something malicious that is causing these errors, that the problem is addressed and removed as soon as possible.